Hello, thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, after raging successes in Hollywood with Aviator, The Lord of the Rings and Elizabeth, the Oscar-winning actress Cate Blanchett takes to the stage. I catch up with her in Paris. And a tribute to Maurice Béjart, one of the most influential and controversial European choreographers of the 20th century. She's played Bob Dylan, Queen Elizabeth, and an elf queen on the silver screen. Now Cate Blanchett is making a rare appearance on the Paris stage. She's playing Lotta in a new translation of German playwright Boto Strauss's surreal drama, Big and Small. Earlier on, I went to meet the Oscar-winning actress and the play's groundbreaking director, Benedict Andrews.
I don't think I really get attracted to roles, to be honest. I mean, the play is one that had always, I'd been quite obsessed with, just structurally and formally since I first read it when I was at university in the late 80s. But it was more about reconnecting with Benedict as a director, because this is not a piece that just anyone could do. You have to be part of a bigger vision, and the ensemble is really extraordinary. It's a privilege to work with them.
This Lotta, she's a really extraordinary creation of Boto Strauss, but you can only do this play if you have a great actress who can meet the role, because as you know from seeing it, the role is something of an enigma. We're very fascinated by her, but she's something of a blank, and we don't quite understand her, and yet she must be filled with a life force, and that is the meeting of actress and role, and that's what I find so particularly exciting about the production, is you're watching this woman losing touch with reality somehow, and yet remaining incredibly raw-hearted and very, very funny.
And Kate, it's being described as a career triumph for you, which some people might find quite surprising given all your celebrated Hollywood roles. I wanted to ask you, who has your heart? Is it the theatre? Is it Hollywood?
I don't know when people talk about Hollywood, I think they mean a state of mind. It was only very recently that I even made a film in Los Angeles. I think you can make films in America and in Europe and Australia that have a great integrity to them. And I think there's this constant, people are trying to make the stage and cinema as if they're two very different experiences for you as an actor. I mean, good work is good work. And that's what when I went to drama school, I was hoping to be involved
and
with.
Very mixed reactions to the play. Like, some people loved it. When I was walking out, some people are quite bewildered and bemused. Some people are quite alienated. Mm. It is quite uncomfortable to watch. What reaction do you want from the audience?
I think like the character, the play is sort of on a precipice between a terrible sadness of this woman's radical isolation in the world, but also then the radical optimism and open heart that she has. And I find the production, she's dancing between both these things, between being a clown and a saint, and somehow perhaps a victim in terrible pain, but also a kind of a new hero finding her way through the world.
Dear Paul, sunshine, baby, I hope these lines find you productive and well. I am now far away from you, but not in spirit. Those memories of our first years together at Saarbrücken will always stay with me as the most wonderful memories of my life.
And it premiered in 1978 in West Berlin, a very different time to where we're in now.
A country that no longer exists.
Yes.
First of all. Do you think, though, the theme of alienation is still very relevant today?
I think we're blessed in this particular version of the British playwright Martin Crimp, in that he has, with a kind of scalpel precision, made a new play that speaks to a contemporary Europe or a contemporary First World somehow. So you feel the ghosts of this vanished country, West Germany, but it really is a play for now.
What do you like about Cate as an actress, Benedict?
She's a completely fearless actress, both in the rehearsal room and on stage, with a really incredible access to her emotions that she can share with the public. And for me as a director, it's a great gift because she's incredibly inventive, very, very playful, and we can simply go further together.
And what did you learn from each other, from the experience?
I don't know. I mean, people always say about, you know, how do you start creating a role? It's absolutely in dialogue with the other actors and the director. And so it was a process of just throwing, I think both of us throwing everything at it, because it's a puzzle. It's not like doing, you know, contemporary American drama where there's a narrative and a very easily accessible and edible set of experiences. You really do have to unlock the possibilities, and it's a bit like a Rubik's Cube. And so I think we both had to sort of be quite open-hearted and open-spirited about trying to learn what the language of the production would be on the floor.
At the end, when you were bowing, I have to say you look quite exhausted, because it's an exhausting role. You were jumping around.
I'm relieved.
You're dancing, then you're lying on the floor the next minute. Is it quite an emotionally exhausting role for you?
I think when you're surfing the wave of a great play, it carries you forward. And certainly when you can feel an audience connecting with it, then you do have the catharsis of the evening and you can let it go and go home. I think it's more when it's not working or it's not connecting that you feel exhausted. It's very enervating, you know, performing to 1,000 people a night and feeling that they're responding. You know, and it's the wonderful privilege about touring, because when, you know, we've come from Sydney with this production from the Sydney Theatre Company to Paris and then to London and to Vienna and Recklinghausen, is to see what each different culture makes of it. And, you know, I think we were all quite nervous about what it would mean here in Europe as opposed to what it meant in Australia.
Throughout your career, you've played an eclectic amount of roles. How do you prepare for those?
I always ask the night before I start rehearsal, I always ask Andrew Upton, my partner, who we run the Sydney Theatre Company together. I always ask him, I say, what do I do? How do I prepare? And he said, it's all right, you know what you're doing, you've probably already done it. But I do panic that I haven't done enough work, and in the end, you've got to, you know, it's the joy of doing anything is reading around it and researching it. But when you have 3 children and you're running a theatre company, the luxury and it feels all that preparation suddenly is an indulgence. And I remember an Australian director, Neil Armfield, saying to me, "It doesn't matter what you do, you know, your homework, you just had to be present in the room." And this was very much the case. You know, neither of us had a particular great lead-up time. We just had to hit the ground running and be open.
But Cate is one of the most hard-working actors I've ever met. Every second in the rehearsal room, she's searching more and more.
You're touring Europe with this play, but we've heard rumours about a film with Terrence Malick, with Woody Allen. What are your next projects?
Well, it's a very big job running the Sydney Theatre Company. We do between 16 and 21 plays a year across 4 different stages. We have a big education program. And as I said, we've got 3 children as well. So the idea of fitting in films has been it hasn't been possible. But it's been so rewarding working with the company. I feel like I've expanded enormously as an actor, you know, as a result of, but also as a producer, you know. So that's been a fantastic thing to do. But it's, you know, when Terrence Malick calls up or Woody Allen, you do have to answer the call. So hopefully we can squeeze those in sometime. I don't even want to think about it, it just makes me panic.
OK, just very quickly, because we're running out of time, but you've played huge roles, Queen Elizabeth, Bob Dylan, Blanche. I was wondering, is there a dream role that you are waiting for?
No, really, I don't approach things. Although, if anyone was doing Charlie Brown, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, the musical, I'd love to play Lucy. I know all the songs.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you.
And from Paris, big and small go on to play in London, Vienna and Recklinghausen in Germany. Next, to celebrate reaching a quarter of a century, one of the most famous dance companies is paying homage to its creator and namesake. Almost 5 years after his death, the choreography of Maurice Béjart continues to inspire, shock and entertain. His ballet troupe is in Paris as it tours the world, sharing his legacy.
To Ravel's hypnotic score, a dancer sways alone above 40 others as they sensually prostrate themselves before her. First choreographed in 1961, Maurice Béjart's Bolero is also one amongst many. The Frenchman was a prolific artist. Sex, drama, a merging of the contemporary with the classical. Béjart's style often shocked and, for some, still does. But over the decades of his career, he helped shunt ballet forward. 80 when he passed away just 5 years ago, his legacy is still exciting audiences and inspiring the company to which he gave his name.
Béjart was hugely generous in the way that he handled the choreography and dealt with the dancers. And we still feel it today when we perform these ballets. He helps dancers to develop and liberate themselves, even if he's not here anymore.
For me, it's the only choreography with which I can express myself, to make others understand who I am.
Béjart rejected conventions that dictated that the ballerina was the queen of the dance, and his reimaginings of traditional ballets often placed men in roles that had previously been out of reach. He also drew inspiration from Asian and African dance traditions, even founding a school in Senegal, the birthplace of his great-grandmother. Béjart's intuitive style both enraptured and enraged critics. The man hailed by France as the greatest choreographer of our time took scorn in his stride, once saying that people need reactions as progress only comes with jostling. In the spirit of its namesake, the Béjart Ballet Lausanne is still provoking audiences' passions.
That brings us to the end of the show. We're going to leave you with music from the French band Caravan Palace. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter @Eveling in Paris. Thanks for your company. I'll see you next time.